So level 1 is on a global level, and level 2 is on a corporate level. So like intermingling of corporations. And level 3 is at an individual level. And for my country, it's Guyana, and it's a level 3. So it's at an individual level. It means that they have internet access to talk to people around the globe, and they have transportation in and out. And I forgot, I needed to mention this. I picked both of you, and it kind of worked out this way, which is good. You're both in the same field, and, well, not in the same field, but you're both going into medical stuff, and so it'll be good to get your guys' perspective on that. And these are also two people, I don't know if I'm supposed to, these are both two people that I let them view my website, so they've already seen a little bit about my country. So, for globalization, what do you guys think about globalization here in the US?
What about it?
What level do you think we're at?
1.
Definitely 3
Definitely.
at an
Yeah, I was like,
personal level.
like you want level 3 where that means you have internet access and
Yeah,
transfer.
we're at a 3.
Okay. And there's not too much else to, like, what do you think it's a good or a bad thing, globalization? And why? Like, I think it's a good thing in some ways, because then you have people from different places interacting with each other, then you get more cultures, and you're not just so like, I don't know how to put into words what I'm thinking. Like, you don't just have one culture, and you get to experience more than one, and so you're more well-rounded, and you have more knowledge of things in the world.
I agree.
I think there are definitely two sides to it. Like globalization is definitely good because countries aren't isolated. But for us, we're like a superpower, so our culture and our standards, we tend, I think, to be really domineering into imposing our views culturally on others. So I think it goes both ways.
Okay. Good. I guess I'll talk about the development dollar next. We started this at the beginning of the semester, and this is like the first day that we did anything, and he gave us $1, and the conditions were that it has to help our adopted country, and we can't spend it until we know what we're going to spend it on. Yeah. Anyway, both the giver and the receiver have to be blessed by it. And I haven't used it yet, but taking this class has definitely given me a lot to think about, but it also made me think, like, I can't do anything with $1. Like, $1 is not going to help anyone. But one thing that came to mind is people in Guyana are living, a lot of them are in poverty, and they're living on less than $1 a day. And so, like, it's amazing what $1 would do for them. And so I still don't know what I'm going to use it on, because I don't know how $1 I could use it in, like, the most productive way. But what would you guys use it on if you were giving that assignment?
I was given $1.
Yeah,
Well,
and
there's one.
and basically it's not just about the $1, it's just like, what would you do to help another country, kind of, but it's just,
Well, I don't know how I'd get $1 over there. But I guess I could use it to help me go over there, and then I could
because that would help
help people.
you and them, because it has to
Yeah.
help the giver and the receiver. So how would it help you?
It would help me get over there, so I could help them.
But why would getting over there help you?
Because I think that doing something like that would really not only open my eyes, but it would give me an incredible opportunity to helping survivors.
You are a good example because Caitlin isn't just one of those people that says that they would go help someone. She actually wants to go to Africa and help people there. And so I know that she would actually do something to benefit another country instead of just saying, oh yeah, I'd love to help them.
Yeah.
Ben, what would you do?
Well, it's $1, but
Yep.
I suppose I would probably give it to the government to help support democratic elections, although it would be instantly absorbed in overhead costs. So, yeah, but I think it would be good.
That is good. I really like that because one of the big problems in Guyana is corruption in their government, and so I was thinking about helping using my dollar towards the government as well. Except I think you need to fix the government first before you gave them anything because they're not going to use it in the right way. And so one of the things I wanted to talk about is how would you go about fixing corruption in the government, because you'd have to get rid of some of the government, but how would you, the people don't have enough power to do that, and so I don't see it going anywhere without fixing the government. I think that in order to fix their other problems, like the Millennial Development Goals are like child mortality rate and maternal health and poverty, but how are you going to fix that if the government's not willing to? So what do you guys think?
That's hard because basically in order to change a government you have to have a complete revolution. And that's not necessarily going to happen because there's a lot of countries with very corrupt governments and they just stay the same. They never ever change. And that's because the people can't do anything about it. And so kind of part of me is like, well, we should go fix it. But us going in there and fixing stuff isn't going to do anything because the people have to do it if they feel strongly. So that's kind of a hard thing because I don't really know if there is a way to fix the problem. And it's also a process that takes years and years. So eventually I think these governments good things could come out of them. But it's a hard line to know how much we should do and can do and how much of a difference it could make. And yeah, so but if the government was fixed, it would fix those other problems. So that's kind of a hard line, I think.
I definitely agree. I can't remember what it was talking about, but it said that they had this plan for one of their Millennial Development Goals. I think it was about deforestation to help global warming or something, because they have really polluted water, and so people aren't getting good water. But they said that they put like the information into getting it fixed, and the government, the people who were ahead of it, said that they were going to fix it, and then they didn't. So they told the people they were going to, and then they just don't. And I don't even know where I would go to start to fix a problem like that, like if the US should help, or if they should just let them figure it out for themselves, but it doesn't seem like it's going anywhere. So I'm going to talk a little bit more about the Millennial Development Goals. So the third one, we talked about three main ones, and it was promote gender equality and empower women, reduce child mortality and improve maternal health, and in a lot of the developing countries, I found that they said that they met their goal, but then there's still like huge problems in it, so I don't understand how they would meet their goal and still have the same problems that they were having before. So I didn't know about that, but there's an issue of women being underpaid by employers, and they say that they're going to like have it so that it's equal pay between men and women, but men are in charge in their country and there's not a lot of women in power. And that's not necessarily like a bad thing or why it's happening, because men can help gender equality as well, but it doesn't seem to be fixing. And then for maternal health, they have all these doctors, but they're not trained the way that they should be, and so they're not helping women, and women are dying during childbirth. And that also goes along with the child mortality rate, because babies are dying as well because doctors aren't trained like they should be. With 2 people in the medical field, what do you guys think they could do?
To be trained properly.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, people need to go and train them. And so I know there's a lot of organizations that actually do that. That will go and help train medical professionals in developing countries, and just help them to know more what to look for and everything. But yeah, it would be a huge project. I mean, it wouldn't. I don't know. I don't know what you think.
I think most of the problems and issues can be solved internally. So I would probably say that the government ought to infuse money into the education of medicine, particularly to help the child mortality rate. Or this is, I guess, mothers.
Both go hand in hand.
Yeah. But that's what I would suggest, is that they probably ought to infuse money into the education of medicine.
I thought the same thing, because if you educate their people, then they're not just having people come in and do it for them, but they're learning